My name is Matt Eicheldinger. I am an author and also a middle school teacher, although I'm more author than teacher now as I'm on leave from my school district. About 15 years ago, I started writing a silly story about broken toes from my childhood, and I spent the next 15 years trying to get that thing published while I was writing. And I've been rejected hundreds of times, but in the middle of the pandemic, I decided to self-publish that book. And then a year later, it got acquired by a major publisher and went on to be an instant New York Times bestseller. And that's when I realized my full potential of being a storyteller. I think that's what I was meant to do. And so I've been telling stories, not just in middle grade novels, but in all sorts of different genres, including social media, if you consider that a genre, where I have about 500,000 followers, where I share insightful stories from my classroom. And it's sent me around the country for keynote events as I kind of pick apart these stories that I've saved from my teaching career and the lessons that I've learned from it. What fuels my energy to continue doing what I do is many things. The first thing is I'm stepping into a new space. So for me, it's fun to explore all these different areas of publishing and storytelling. But at the root of all of it is students. I've been a teacher my entire adult life, and most of the things that I've put out into the world, not just on social media, but books, they all stem from things that happened in my classroom. I have a book of poetry that was my poetry curriculum. I had to write it because we had no poetry curriculum. You know, the middle grade series that I wrote was because I had students who were reluctant readers and they weren't engaging in the materials that I had. And Sticky Notes, the book that I talk about in my keynote, that derives from all these stories I saved from students and the lessons that I've learned from them. So when I think about what fuels me, it always comes back to the classroom and teaching. The thing that I hope people walk away from my keynote session is actually one of the first things that I say, because I want people, in case they zone out or don't know what to walk away with, I want them to remember one thing, which is this: there is a quiet essence to you that no one can repeat, and it resonates much farther than you realize. Something that I've come to understand is all of these small interactions that we have with people, they really do matter a lot more than you think. And most of them default to who you are. It's who you are at your core that has the biggest impact. I just happen to have thousands and thousands of stories to prove it. So that's what I hope people walk away with.